Well, Country Biker here, just call me Warm Hands. Well, I'm just drearily wandering along in this traffic at the moment. Hopefully it'll clear soon. Having said that, that's a hearse in front of me. I'm quite superstitious about those when I'm on my bike, so I'm gonna just hang back a bit. I can see that it is today 12 degrees, but it feels a lot cooler because there is dampness in the air, autumn style. So I've got my heated grips on, and basically I'm just going to talk about those in a minute or two. Somebody did ask me what I think about them. I think if somebody has spent the time to ask, make a comment, then it's good manners to answer. It's easy enough to do. But first, the condensation updates. I know a lot of people are interested in the situation with that. I'm interested in it myself. What I can tell you is I get the bike out this morning, there is no condensation on the bike, but already I've been out about 10-15 minutes. I've just filled up with fuel. It's starting to show signs of steaming up internally. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. You can't wipe it inside. Anyway, I expect in an hour or so that it will probably have fully steamed up. You do not have to listen to an hour of this. I'm going to keep it brief today. But I'm in a bit of a dilemma. I did contact the dealer over a week ago and he did get back to me a week today. So to be fair to him, it's only been 7 days. I don't know whether to chase it up or wait a while and see what happens. One, out of interest, because I'm curious as to what will happen with it if it keeps getting water inside of it. I think we know what the answer to that's going to be. But also I've got another 18 months of warranty on this bike, so there's no pressing rush or concern. But more to the point, several people got back to me, and I've mentioned that there is the possibility, or the distinct possibility should I say, slowing down. The sign says slow down, I'm slowing down, look. So there's a distinct possibility of a revised display. Only rumour so far, but more than one person has told me that, so probably I'd call it a little more than a rumour, though I can't substantiate it. So will there be a recall? Maybe. I don't know. Just guessing. The point being, if I get mine swapped now for the old style one, I'm likely just going to end up with the same problem. So I'm torn between badgering the dealer, or the dealership, or the service department should I say, or just waiting for a while and just seeing what happens. But apparently it's imminent, so we'll see. If you've heard anything, please get back to me and I'll spread the word. Like a word spreader. Okay, getting on to the heated grips. Well, it's 12 degrees today and I've got the heated grips on red, which is the hottest. I never read the instructions, I'll be honest. I've just found that to be the hottest. It's at the top. If you press the button, you may see the button here. We'll talk about that in a minute. You've got green, which as far as I could tell is the same as off. I mean, it's not off, but for all the good it does, might as well be. Then you've got sort of amber, the first amber. Again, a little more than off. I don't think I've ever used them on just on that second amber. If I push the button again, we've got an orange. I mean that differs from the amber only in that it's a darker orange, or I could be colourblind. It's the third one up, Now I do use that one quite a bit. That one to me is anywhere below 15 degrees to say 8 degrees, depending on the air temperature and the dampness. So a day like today, amber's probably where I'll have it. So it's not true that you have to have these flat out all the time or they're useless. I must admit that's something I've said in the past, but you can be too, you can have your hands too warm. Well, I'm quite sort of fussy about my hands. Apart from the crash helmet, my gloves have to be a perfect fit, and same with the crash helmet. Everything else I don't care, as you can probably tell. But the two things, your hands I think are really important when riding, so I do think you can have them too hot. On a day like today, 12 degrees, that second from top is just about right. Tell they're on, but it's not roasty. So I press the button again for the fourth time. It goes to the top, and that is position red, or the top position, and they're the hottest. And I haven't found a day yet where that's not warm enough. I'm not saying they're as hot as Oxford hot grips or the various versions of Oxford grips, which seem to be the best, but I haven't found a day when I've been out where that's not been sufficiently warm. But before I go any further, if you want to see how they're fitted, not to this bike but to a 790 Duke, which is basically the same procedure, if you check out Campbell 01's video, I'll put a link in the description. But Campbell 01 did fit these last year to his 790 Duke, and I had them on my 790 Duke, and they're exactly the same heated grips. So they're the plus points, the positivos. So basically you fit these to the bike through a ACC socket in the headlight, I believe, and there are two. There is one which is controlled by the ignition, and that's the one you want. There is another ACC socket which is on all the time. You don't really want that one, because it will flatten your battery. Because unlike the Oxford ones, I believe the Oxford ones, when the battery drops to a certain level, they switch themselves off. So in theory you should never flatten your battery. These ones I think would stay on all the time. Negative points are this horrible button switch here. I don't understand why they're not integrated into the grips. Well, they're not integrated into the grips because you can get a different grip here with cruise control if you have that fitted. So why they didn't bring out one with the heated grip button in it, or control, I don't know. Bit slapdash really. I'm sure in later models they will do that, because you do get this horrible button. It is a horrible thing with these two horrible bits of wire poking out of it. Also, I think it's just stuck on there, so that could fall off. So in terms of the controls, they're horrible. The Oxford controls are a little better. Most people are aware of those, so I'm not going to those, but I know they can come undone as well. But if I turn the bike off, as you'll see, the heated grips go off, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing in terms of the fact when you come back to your bike, hopefully your battery won't be flat, but it's a poor thing in terms of I'm always riding off and then realising my hands have gone cold because they've gone off. I think the Oxford heated grips would stay on at least for a while until the battery drops below a certain level, though do not quote me on that because I could be completely wrong. I think when I was younger I might have scoffed at it, but having had them and got used to them, no way am I having a motorbike now without heated grips. Even if I had a classic I'd fit them. A 6-volt bike I'd fit a 12-volt battery just to run the heated grips. That's how much I feel about them. Crazy as that sound. So anyway, that's basically my update. The only query I would have is whether the Oxford heated grips fit these fly-by-wire throttle. I don't see why not, but that would be one thing I'd check before I fitted the Oxford ones. Most of the point, if I was buying this bike from a dealer, they've sold lots of them now, so you know the pressure's off in terms of sales, is I would haggle. I did haggle on this bike and had them fitted and thrown in as part of the cost of the bike. You know, there is always room for some sort of negotiation. As for cruise control, I think I would have had that fitted too, I'd have thought about it. There's not really much use for it in England, but it's there, so it's not overly expensive to buy the fitting. It's just that you couldn't do the programming yourself, so it would be better to have that done when you buy the bike. At least with the heated grips, there's no programming, because they're basically just run from that accessory socket in the headlight. Okay, as the condensation begins to form, and it really is. This is Codger Biker wishing you farewell. Codger Biker is out. Oh, and if you're wondering, I put the TFT into night display just because I can. Also, I can see the condensation better. Let them go. No, I'm going to go down this road here. Who am I talking to? I don't know. Oh, another hearse. That's two hearses on the same run. I'm going home.